Day's finally here, you guys. It's Friday, March 7th. That means both the Disneyland Monorail and the Disneyland Railroad are back online today. We're going to ride both. Can't wait.
Bien esperado. Gracias.
The nose, tail, where we are right now. Only way to fly in the monorail.
Hello everyone. Welcome aboard the Disneyland Monorail. We are now beginning a 2.5-mile journey to downtown Disney Station and back. For a safe trip, remain seated, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the cabin. Be sure to wash your children and other smoker please.
Bienvenidos. Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren y cuide a los niños. Por favor, recuerden no fumar.
You are riding aboard the Mark 7, the latest generation of Disneyland monorails. When Walt Disney introduced this attraction in 1959, it was the first daily operating monorail system in the Western Hemisphere. Just ahead is Disney California Adventure, where you'll find Disney stories told in unique and exciting new ways. That towering fortress in the distance is home to the Tustin collection, with the collector showcases its newest acquisitions, the Guardians of the Galaxy. We're now passing Grizzly Peak, land of scenic wonders, where you can experience the beauty and exhilaration of free flight in Sullivan. Coming into view is Disney's Grand California Hotel and Spa. This imaginary masterpiece was inspired by the state's natural wonders and features the arts and crafts style of the 19th century. We are now arriving at downtown Disney Station, gateway to the downtown Disney District and the Disneyland Resort Hotels. If you will be leaving us here and returning later today, Please hold on to your park ticket as you leave the station. You may reboard the monorail for a return trip to Tomorrowland up until 1/2 hour prior to Disneyland closing. Please remain seated until the monorail comes to a complete stop and the doors have opened. Then gather your belongings, lower your head, watch your step, and exit to the left of the monorail. Thanks for traveling with us today, and we hope you enjoy your visit to the Disneyland Resort. For those of you continuing with us, we'll begin our return trip to Tomorrowland in just a few minutes. Thank you. Those of you who have just joined us, welcome aboard the Disneyland Monorail. For your safety, please remain seated, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the cabin. Watch your children, and no smoking, please.
Bienvenidos a bordo. Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren y cuide a los niños. Por favor, se ruega el camomar. Gracias.
We're now en route to our final stop, the Tomorrowland Monorail Station. Along the way, you can get a bird's eye look at the downtown Disney District, Disney's Grand California Hotel and Spa, and Disney California Adventure. To the left of the monorail is the main entrance of Disneyland, the happiest place on earth. Disneyland is truly an American original. Since its opening in 1951, it has hosted hundreds of millions of guests from around the world, including presidents, kings, and celebrities. It is the original Disney theme park, created and enjoyed by Walt Disney himself. To the right is our transportation closet, where you'll find taxis, hotel shuttles, and public transit stops. Some of the clearances are pretty tight up ahead, so be sure to remain seated, keeping your hands and arms inside the cabin.
It's all train down there. Yeah.
Tomorrowland, a land inspired by science fact and fantasy. Below us is the Submarine Lagoon, where you can dive into a fantastic underwater adventure aboard the Finding Nemo submarine voyage. Across the way are the icy peaks of Matterhorn Mountain, home to the world's most famous bobsled run. And beneath us is the Autopia, where drivers of all ages can travel the road to tomorrow. of them all, Fantasyland, home to Pinocchio, Snow White, Peter Pan, and other storybook characters. We're now approaching the Tomorrowland Monorail Station, our final destination. Please remain seated until the monorail comes to a complete stop. Then collect your belongings, watch your head, and step carefully from the train. On behalf of all of our crew, thanks for traveling with us. And we hope you'll have a happy and memorable visit here at Disneyland. This is the Tomorrowland Monorail Station.
That was everything I wanted it to be. Let's go find out if the Disneyland Railroad has opened yet. There it is. Just about the most beautiful sight in all of Disneyland. The train is on the tracks. Looks like guests are getting in the queue. We're in good shape. Thank you.
Paperwork right now. We'll try and get you guys on as soon as possible.
All right, thank you.
Hello everyone and welcome aboard the Disneyland Railroad. Our next scheduled stop is New Orleans Square. On our journey there, please remain seated with your hands, arms, feet and legs inside the train. Supervise the young ones as well, ensuring they're also properly seated on a bench and away from the train opening on the right. Thank you, and here we go.
Welcome aboard the Disneyland Railroad. We're embarking on a grand circle tour of the Magic Kingdom. We'll be stopping at New Orleans Square, Mickey's Toontown, and Tomorrowland. We'll also visit the Grand Canyon and make a trip back in time to the primeval world and the age of the dinosaurs before returning to Main Street Station. As we begin our journey, remember that for a safe trip, you need to stay seated, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. And please watch your children.
Bienvenidos a bordo del Disneyland Railroad. Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias.
Our first stop is New Orleans Square Station. But to get there, we need to pass through the wilds of Adventureland. It may seem peaceful through here, but trust me, it's a real jungle out there. Literally. So be on the lookout. You just never know what might be lurking along the rails. Just ahead is New Orleans Square. This station also serves Frontierland and Bayou Country. If you'll be leaving us here, please remain seated until the train comes to a complete stop. Then watch your step as you're getting off. For those of you continuing on with us, we'll be resuming our trip in just a moment. This is New Orleans Square Station, New Orleans Square.
Until we reach a full and complete stop. Thank you. To those who just joined us, welcome aboard the Disneyland Railroad. Our next scheduled stop is Mickey's Toontown Depot. On our journey there, please stay seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. Supervise the young ones as well, ensuring they're also properly seated on a bench and away from that train opening on the right side. Thank you, and here we go.
To those just joining us, welcome aboard the Disneyland Railroad. To ensure a safe ride, stay seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. And please watch your kids.
Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren. Y cuide a las pequeñas. Gracias.
We're now entering the Bayou, home to Tiana's Bayou Adventures. Take a sneak peek at the big party Princess Tiana is throwing, where the welcome is warm, the music is hot, and the company is sweet as honey. Sweetness. The inhabitants of the land we're passing over are the bee's knees. Here in Bayou Country, you can join Winnie the Pooh, Tigger, Louis the Alligator, and other beloved critters on their fun-filled adventures. As we steam past Hungry Bear Barbecue Jamboree, we're now joining up with the rivers of America and entering the frontier as it looked more than a century and a half ago. This is my favorite part of the journey. Around every bend, there's natural beauty as far as the eye can see. There is the revered Indian shaman, sharing his stories with those in the great river valley below. People like you have been riding these rails since the 1800s, traveling through nature's wonderland in a matter of days, rather than the months it used to take by mule or stagecoach. Steam power not only fueled these iron horses, but the dreams of a whole new generation as it moved west into this great frontier. Of course, some of those dreams and the stories that went with them were pretty darn wild and downright unbelievable. Like on Big Thunder Mountain, where I hear that mysterious spirits have grabbed hold of those mining trains and turned them into the wildest ride in the wilderness. This tunnel signals our transition from the frontier to another kind of ear, the ones you'll find on Mickey and Minnie Mouse. Our next stop is Toontown Depot, official train station for Mickey's Toontown, the cartoon home where Mickey, Minnie, and all their friends live. Toontown Depot is also the gateway to Fantasyland, where you'll find many of your favorite Disney animated characters and stories. If you're leaving us here, please wait until the train comes to a full stop.
Welcome to Mickey's Toontown Depot. If you're leaving us here, please stay seated until we reach a full and complete stop. This will be your gateway to Mickey's Toontown as well as all of Fantasyland.
All aboard!
All right, everybody, it's showtime. Please stay seated. We're going to get rolling now to our next stop, Tomorrowland. Here we go.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us on the Disneyland Railroad. For a safe ride, remember to stay seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. And please watch your kids.
¿Qué tal, amigos? Y bienvenidos a bordo. Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren. Y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias.
As we leave Toontown Depot, we get a real nice view of the happiest land of them all, Fantasyland. You can see people stepping onto It's a Small World just below us. And, off in the distance, majestic Matterhorn Mountain. We're now steaming forward into the future to a land inspired by visions of tomorrow, both practical and imagined. Here you'll find rocket ships and star speeders, submarines and astroblasters, and, if you look overhead, maybe a glimpse of a Mark 7 monorail. This is the latest version of the first daily operating monorail system in the entire Western Hemisphere, gliding above Disneyland since 1959. Below the monorail, and us, are the fun-filled roadways of the Autopia. Drivers of all ages can get behind the wheel of these cars. No experience or license required. If you're into soaring spaceships or doing battle with evil empires and emperors, Tomorrowland is definitely the place for you. Speaking of which, we're pulling into Tomorrowland Station right now. If you're leaving us here, just stay seated until we come to a full stop. Gather your belongings, including lightsabers and astro blasters, and step carefully from the train. Thanks, and have fun in the future. For the rest of you, just sit tight. We'll be on our way again in just a minute.
Welcome to Tomorrowland, everybody. If you're leaving us here, please stay seated until we reach a full and complete stop. Welcome to the future. Disneyland Railroad, and the scheduled stop is Main Street Station. On our journey there, please remain seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. Supervise the young ones as well, ensuring they're also properly seated on a bench away from the train opening on the right. Now, before we get to Main Street, we need to pass through a long, dark tunnel. Inside the tunnel, we kindly ask, please no flash photography. Thank you.
To those who have just come aboard, welcome. The next leg of our journey will take us from the fantastic world of the future to the breathtaking beauty of nature's own design, the Grand Canyon. For your safety, stay seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. Watch your children and no flash photography.
Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren y cuide a los pequeños. Por favor, no tome fotografías con flash.
That was the Grand Canyon as we know it today. But it wasn't always this way. Now, let's travel back in time, way back in time, to the fantastic past of the primeval world, land of the dinosaurs. returning to our own time and to Main Street Station, gateway to Disneyland. If you're leaving us here, stay in your seat until we come to a full stop.
Welcome back to Main Street Station, everybody. If you're leaving us here, please stay seated until we reach a full and complete stop. Just keep in mind that we only have stairs at this station, no ramps, no elevators here. If you're traveling with a stroller or wheelchair, please keep those folded. Seatbelts are exit gate. Thank you for joining us here at the Disneyland Railroad. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Next stop, Sullivan Square. Here we go.